ChatGPT is the fastest growing platform of all time. It gets over 6 billion views a month and has grown by 94% a year. What this means for your dental office is that people are now going to be searching on ChatGPT. Where's the best dentist? Who's the best dentist? And even when they're searching on Google, their first response is usually ChatGPT's response. So now as dentists, we need to figure out how is it that we can train ChatGPT to say our office and say our name. So these are the two main factors that AI and ChatGPT uses to determine this, and we'll show you how we get our offices to show our associates as the number one dentist in their area. AI platforms like ChatGPT have two main knowledge sources. They have all of the information that was programmed into their learning when it was first created, and then it has access to the internet when it needs to find new information. So if you ask it something about a president 50 years ago, it has that information. But if you want to ask it what the weather's like tomorrow, it's going to need to search the internet for new information. So the first thing that ChatGPT uses when you ask it who is the best dentist in the area is it uses a Google search. So for that side of things, your ranking of your office is ranked the same way as it's ranked on Google. So things like search engine optimization or SEO, how your website and how your practice ranks online is going to determine how it shows on ChatGPT. This isn't as useful because this is probably a metric that most dentists are already aware of, already used to, and already trying to fight other dentists for a higher position. But that's not the most important thing that ChatGPT relies on. ChatGPT has a pseudo-persistent memory. What that means is that it doesn't remember everything that you tell it, but it does remember the key points. So ChatGPT's system is all open, right? Everyone who says something to ChatGPT, it's stored in some fashion in its memory. That's why you're not supposed to tell ChatGPT things like your passwords or personal information, because it's not private. It's not a private conversation that you're having with your signed in ChatGPT. It's remembering everything, and everything that you tell it, it will use in other conversations. So what you can do as a dentist is you can actually train ChatGPT to learn and to know that you're the best dentist in your area for whatever reason it is. The most obvious way to do this, which is a good way to explain it, but not the way that we did it and not the way I recommend doing it, is you could just tell it daily that you're the best, right? You could ask it questions every day like, how do I do crowns super well like Dr. Sellers does? Or how does Dr. Sellers do things so well? He's the best. How do I do things like that? Whenever you're telling ChatGPT those sorts of things, it's learning. So if you literally did that thousands of times a day, it would learn that, and it would now, when someone asks who does the best crowns, it would tell them that Dr. Sellers does the best crowns because it's been input into its memory so many times. This isn't the most practical way to do it, but that kind of helps you get the understanding of how it works. So there's the initial information that ChatGPT is given, and ChatGPT will grow its knowledge base over time, learning from what people have been telling it. And so when it hears the same fact over and over again, it eventually integrates it into its knowledge base. And so if you can have your office and your name be the prominent office and name, and have ChatGPT know that you're the best office in your area, then it will use that information before going to Google. So if it already knows that your name is the best, it won't do a Google search, which means that your SEO rankings or your Google rankings won't actually matter, which is good for a lot of practices because Google rankings are very, very competitive and they're very hard to get. And with ChatGPT being so much newer, it's much easier to have your name ingrained into its knowledge base. When you're trying to fight with Google, you're fighting with years and years of data. When you're fighting with ChatGPT, you're fighting with much less data. So it's much easier to make your name prominent and leave an imprint in ChatGPT's memory so that when people search who's the best dentist in Cincinnati, your name comes up. So you can just send it thousands of messages a day, like I said as an example. But what you really just need to do is have your name or your office's name and your prominence, right? Whatever it is. If you want to be the best, if you want to be the cheapest, if you want to be the fastest, if you want to be the most patient friendly, whatever your key differentiating factors are, you want to be uploading that to ChatGPT daily. So every day you want Jason Sellers is the best to be pushed into ChatGPT so it hears it, stores it. When it hears it enough times, it integrates it. So there's a lot of ways to do this. The way that we have found to be most effective at all of our offices with all the different doctors is to use it with a chat window. So for all of our offices, we have a chat window on our website or on our landing page. And we also have an AI receptionist in that chat window and on the phone after hours. What we can then do is program all of our doctors' information into that chat window. So what happens is that every time a patient talks to your chat window or talks to your after hours receptionist, your information and everything that makes you great is run through ChatGPT so that ChatGPT can give it a response. So functionally, it's just acting like a normal chat window or a normal receptionist that you've trained and that answers patients well and books your appointments. But what it's doing in turn is it's feeding your positive information over and over again throughout the day into ChatGPT. So that over a few months, whenever anything is related to dentistry in that area, your name and your credentials and what makes you the best is automatically at the top of ChatGPT's brain because it's been in there every day over and over again. So it helps build your brand recognition within ChatGPT itself, which it will then use before going to Google. So you can build something like this yourself. There's a lot of marketing companies that have something like this. All that's important is that you have positive information through a system like this that is constantly talking to ChatGPT, which is very helpful for so many dental offices because you don't have the kind of Google search ranking that these big corporate offices have, and you don't want to pay thousands of dollars a month to try to get your Google ranking up when it doesn't even help that much because the Google ads are on top of it. So there's a lot of struggles for small dental practices when it comes to getting your office to show at the top of Google. But this is an amazing way to get your name out there because the AI chat window on Google shows first above everything. And more people are now using ChatGPT instead of Google. So what we're doing is we're bypassing that older Google ranking score and allowing your office to show higher than it usually would. So find yourself a marketing company or build one yourself that does this, and make sure that it uses your personalized information. If it thinks it's too generic, it's not going to count it as unique and it's not going to store it. So it needs to be your unique fingerprint, what makes you best, and it needs to be set up in a way that feeds it properly through ChatGPT all day, every day. And it works very well, especially in these younger days of ChatGPT, because it doesn't have much competition. I'll put a link to our marketing company at the end or below if you have a hard time finding one. And if you want more tips like this, hit the subscribe button, or you can sign up to our comprehensive PACE certified course